trans moodiness. A podcast where we proudly say the quiet part out loud and wear our hearts on our sleeve. Sipping a tea while listening to this podcast is encouraged.
Hi. I'm a little stuffy, so if I sound weird, which I feel like I do, it's because I'm a little stuffy. Welcome to the deep dive discussion. And it is so weird to say this because the deep dive discussion, it is still a discussion. However, I didn't write a piece this week, you guys. I spent so long doing my Secret Lives of Mormon Wives video for YouTube, which I will link below this. But oh my gosh, am I exhausted. Anyway, I'm not too tired to come here and have a chat about what I was going to write about, which maybe I can still write about it. We're doing things differently this week. Maybe I need to talk about it and then maybe I need to write about it. The topic this week is about uncomfortable conversations. This is really coming from a place of feeling so much transition. I don't know if it's because my Saturn return literally starts tomorrow, but I have just been feeling shifts legit in my heart chakra. There have been things that have, always kind of been heavy, but definitely weighing heavier on me. There are things that I really needed to have conversations on. And as open as I am and as good as I am at expressing my feelings, if it's not right in front of my face all of the time, it's not really an issue that I need to address right now. I can be guilty of just avoiding it completely if it's not something that affects me on the day-to-day, which I would love to move past that. Now that I'm saying it, this is me setting my goal for my future self. You got this, Elisa. So I have had a tough conversation this week. I've had a tough conversation the week before. I have just been open about my feelings only because I have been forced to. Things have been pushed to the surface and I've been like, okay, now that it's here, this is something that I'm going to address. And there were instances in those two situations where I just decided maybe it's best to just let it go and let it fizzle out or something like that. But I'm here to tell myself and tell you, because maybe you need to hear this too. If you're feeling uncomfortable about having a conversation, you also feel uncomfortable from not having that conversation. The only difference is you're more comfortable with one uncomfortable feeling. But the latter is going to make you comfortable in the end because you're building that muscle of just talking your shit, and not even in a negative way, just being able to express yourself, which is where adults, you may not be an adult if you're listening to this, but this is on a public platform, so anyone can find it. Either way, if you're not an adult, this is something that you need to learn while your brain is still malleable. So having tough conversations is only uncomfortable at the start of that conversation. Usually once you're in it, you can start to open up. I can start to open up a little bit more because it's like, now that we're on the topic, I better let my freak flag fly. This is the time to get it done right here, right now. And I really want people to know that it's okay to do that. Even if you don't exactly know how the conversation is going to go, which I feel like is probably for the best. There have been a lot of times where I've tried to ruminate and think about every possible outcome, and somehow there's always one that I never thought about. Or I'm talking to someone that I really care about and they want to do something opposite than what I'm proposing, and because I care about them, I want to listen to what they have to say. But then there's also that other side where if things are weird, 9 times out of 10, that person does feel like they're weird. All of this is so nuanced. All of your emotions are so complex. I feel like when I'm in my feelings the most, it's because I typically haven't talked to the person that I need to talk to. Like right now, at this point in my life, I'm really good at talking to my journal. So it's not like I'm yapping. I'm really not yapping like that. But I can do these things in my journal and it can make me feel better. But at the end of the day, I'm only carrying that part of the story that is mine. I'm only carrying the part of the story that is mine. You do have to go to the source. You do have to get to the bottom of it, especially if you want to be right within yourself. Sometimes you can let things go and then there's no closure, no nothing. And you have to do that soul searching and that digging within yourself. It can still be done. So don't think that you have to go talk to everyone about every single thing. That's not what I'm saying here. But if it's deep enough and you care about them enough, I think it's definitely worth a conversation. Now, we are in the digital age. Everyone's a little bit avoidant. It's very strange, which is why it's even more important to have these tough conversations. Because you do not know how much you will be helping society. You guys, I have a story. So it was just a couple of days ago, and I got on the train. I was going to get groceries, and I sit on a cart, and across from me, like diagonally across from me, is a guy who ghosted me not too long ago. And he saw me. I felt his eyes on me. He stared at me, and of course I didn't look at him. Because, bitch, you ghosted me. You need to talk to me. But whenever I first walked on, I stared at him because I was like, no fucking way. He looked at me a couple times. And I was only on the train for one stop. I literally only had to take one stop to get to Wegmans. And he hopped off. Now, he did move. And I only know this because he was telling me the last time we were talking that he was getting ready to move. And he ghosted me when I was trying to have a conversation with him. These are the people that need to be jailed. These are the type of people we can't be letting run loose around society. He literally ran off of the train with his stupid ass. No, let me stop. He literally ran off of the train because the sight of me was so powerful that he couldn't even keep in his fucking seat. I was literally getting off at one stop anyway. It didn't even matter. He felt so small within himself. He literally had to run. He was sitting right next to the door. He got up, ran to the other door to leave, the one that was furthest away from me. I just want to say thank God and the universe for allowing me to dodge that bullet. And as much as I want to give grace to these people, I am no longer going to do it. You guys have fucking ChatGPT. You have a therapist on the phone. You have a therapist on the computer. This is why it's getting so tough. Back to what I was saying, because it's nighttime and my heart rate is raising. You know what? Let me say this one last thing. Is it the one last thing? I don't know. I have to bring up Justin Bieber's post about Hailey Bieber. Justin Bieber, we all know the international pop star, has a wife named Hailey Bieber. She models. She's got a great beauty brand. I think it's valued at like $2 billion. She does well for herself. Anyway, she got the cover of Vogue. And Justin took to Instagram, which usually he posts photos with her. Usually he sings her praises, kind of. Okay, but Justin Bieber posted a photo of Hailey Bieber posing for Vogue, and his caption says, "Yo, this reminds me when Hailey and I got into a huge fight. I told Hales that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes, I know, so mean. For some reason, because I felt so disrespected, I thought I gotta get even. I think as we mature, we realize that we're not helping anything by getting even. We're honestly just prolonging what we really want, which is intimacy and connection. So baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get a Vogue cover, because clearly I was sadly mistaken." So it seems like they had an argument, and it seems like that was a tough conversation for them, and it seems like those words are burned into his memory about him not believing his wife would get the cover of Vogue, who she's a model. He definitely did not run this caption by anyone, because he has now changed the caption. In light of having tough conversations, have tough conversations when it's time to break up. You know how to choose you. Maybe you haven't done it in a long time, but you need to dig deep and you need to do it for yourself and for society. This is the prime example. Have those tough conversations and get the fuck legit. Or have those tough conversations and move forward as an evolved, united front We cannot keep living like this, and I'm being so dead ass right now. We need to be having real conversations. This is what humanity is. Thank you. You will be seeing a lot of work from me coming up because the Brooklyn Film Festival starts Friday and the Tribeca Film Festival starts shortly after that. I'm so excited for this opportunity. I love chatting with you guys, and I hope you're having a fun time too. Okay, bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Sunday Morning Juice Trans Moodiness podcast. I want to hear your experiences and I want to hear what you have to say. So make sure to subscribe on Substack and wherever you get your podcasts. Join the community, join the chat room, and leave your comments. There is so much to unpack in this life. See you next Tuesday.